I decided to write this poem because it's best to share how we feel and get it out there. And it's called The One War I've Won. I failed you, everyone I knew. Things flash before me too fast. Blur is all I see. Will I have a point in this awful place? Feel I'm a disgrace. I failed at life's race. Don't you think life is just one big con? You'll understand what happened to me when I am gone. I believe to know what could possibly happen. I see an island, but I swim past it. Sea engulfs me in a tight embrace. I feel fake. I'm a shell, and I will not survive at this rate. I beg and I cry for this all to stop. I keep running away until my legs give out and I drop. I want to go. I want to leave. Let me out of this hellhole, please. Getting called ugly, strange, queer, gay, fat. My pillow and sleeves, as I smile at that, are soaked in tears. Your opinion of me, who I am, is something I fear. I wish I could know what could have possibly happened. I wish others understood how I feel. But in life, I am not real. I guess my problems are no big deal, right? I'm a loser in this universe. I've lost every fight. I just want to understand everything, because what you think does not define me. How much more of this can I think until I come to simply break? Another piece of me shattered each day just to be tossed away. A jigsaw puzzle where no pieces fit. Say what you want, I smile, but inside it hurts a bit. Sorry to lay this all on you. I bet I'm not making any sense and you can't tell what's poem and what's true. But what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Should I act like most kids, call everyone stupid and gay? Is that really how you want to live through your days? Making insults on the kid with different hair. Jokes on the boy who freezes up as we all stare. We feed on making people unhappy. Laugh at the girl who is in the bathroom crying. Teens have an issue with being empathetic. We should realize what we're saying and not make people feel pathetic. People like you and me are out there suffering, putting guns to their heads, cutting, crying in their beds all night, remembering what those kids said. Think before you act. Please, just face the freaking facts. But of course, saying this won't get you to change. Us kids don't listen. Maybe I should speak in slang. You know, just try to understand who we are isn't determined by skin. Jeez, I feel my breath running thin. So yeah, I hope you get the picture. I hope me standing on a stage made you have fun. Now we know each other a little better, and all is said and done, because this courage and understanding is the one war I've won.
The poem I chose was called The Complaints of the Poor. And the reason why I chose it was because I feel like we complain a little bit too much. You know, we take things for granted a little too much. There are people in other countries who have to walk 4 hours to school, who don't have shoes, who don't have a roof over their house. And we complain over any little thing. But in reality, we should be thankful for a roof, for food, for family, everything that we have. And And wherefore do the poor complain? The rich man asked of me. Come walk abroad with me, I said, and I will answer thee. 'Twas evening, and the streets were frozen, cheerless to behold. And we were wrapped and coated well, and yet we were cold. We met an old bareheaded man. His ox were few and white. I asked him what he did abroad in that cold winter's night. 'Twas bitter keen indeed, he said, but at home no fire had he, and therefore he had come abroad to ask for charity. We met a young barefooted child, and she begged loud and bold. I asked her what she did abroad when the wind it blew so cold. She said her father was at home, and he lay sick abed, and therefore was it she was sent abroad to beg for bread. We saw a woman sitting down upon a stone to rest, a baby at her back, and another at her breast. I asked her why she loitered there when the wind it was so chill. She turned her head and bade the child that screamed behind to be still. She told us that her husband was a soldier that served far away, and therefore to her parish she was begging back her way. We met a woman whose dress was loose and sunken was her eye, who with wanton's hollow voice she addressed the passers-by. I asked her what there was in guilt that her heart could allure to disease, hunger, and remorse. She told us that she was poor. I then turned to the rich man, for silently stood he. You ask me why the poor complain, and these have answered thee.
Writer, and it's by Charles Bukowski. And the reason I chose this poem is because this is mainly just about writing. The poem is about writing. It's about how you have to have the passion to write. It can't just be forced out, but in general, this can also be about any creative work at all. You have to have the passion to do something, and because it can't just be forced out. If it doesn't come bursting out of you in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes unasked out of your heart and your mind and your mouth and your gut, don't do it. If you have to sit there for hours staring at your computer screen or hunched over your typewriter searching for the words, don't do it. If you're doing it for money or fame, don't do it. If you're doing it to get women in your bed, don't do it. If you have to sit there and rewrite it again and again, don't do it. If it's hard work, just thinking about it, don't do it. If you're trying to write like somebody else, forget about it. If you have to wait for it to roar out of you, then wait patiently. But if it never does roar out of you, then do something else. If you first have to read it to your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your parents or to anybody at all, you're not ready. Don't be like so many writers. Don't be like so many thousands of people who call themselves writers. Don't be dull and boring and pretentious. Don't be consumed with self-love. The lovers of the world have yawned themselves to sleep over your kind. Don't add to that. Don't do it. Unless it comes out of your soul like a rocket, unless being still would drive you to madness or suicide or murder, don't do it. Unless the sun inside you is burning your gut, don't do it. When it is truly time, and if you have been chosen, it will do it by itself, and it will keep on doing it until you die or it dies in you. There is no other way, and there never was.
Dear government, if you just give me a few minutes to speak, there are problems in our country, please realize and see. Gun violence, yes. Violence is paired up with gun. Being a victim of something so violent is not a game. No, it's not fun. We should not just hand someone a weapon without knowing what it will be used for. I refuse to listen to your excuses on the news anymore. Who's next? Have you not noticed the blood on the parents' hands? Or the loss of their child might be at all sad? Did I mention that you can do something about it? We wrote, spoke, screamed, and even have shouted for you to do something about it? The cries of the living for the dead is something I cannot bear. Can you pretend that you even slightly care now? I understand that the right to keep and bear arms is protected by the United States Constitution, but you're not even saying, feeling, or even doing Never mind. I will not speak in anger, though I am angry, but I will speak on behalf of those victimized families, or anyone else who agrees with me. We should restrict our gun laws, and we should restrict them now. You're acting naive, acting like you don't know how. I'm tired of practicing a lockdown if a shooter were to shoot up the school. Hardly anyone takes it seriously. They always act a fool. That's not the point. The point is, you have the power to control this gun violence. People like me are tired of staying silent. This country is not your puppet in which you can pull our strings. No, sir. We are a democracy. So here are demands, for this is no autocracy. Children should be able to go to school without any worries, but they hesitate to enter by cause of alarming stories. So I ask, make the next gunman struggle to access a gun, and if he succeeds his next massacre, make him pay for what he's done. Sincerely, Darling.
Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he, with a chuckle, replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be the one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least, no one has ever done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat without any doubting or quit it. He went to it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure, and there are thousands to point out to you, one by one, the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a trace of a grin on your face, and just take off your coat and go to it. Start in to sing as you tackle the thing that couldn't be done, and you'll do it. Thank you.
Did you say scary?
My poem is Question by Rachel Richardson, and I chose this poem because it's like a reflection of the society we are in today and the future of society. It's about how we're heavily reliant on Google for answers, so everything we always ask Google. If there's one true thing, it's that Google will make money off us no matter what. If we want to know what percentage of America is white, as it seems we do, what percentage of the population is gay, as it seems we do, what percentage of the earth is water, the engine is ready for our desire. The urgent snow is everywhere, is a line by Edna St. Vincent Millay, and many have asked apparently, where am I right now? Also, when will I die? Do You Love Me may be up there, generating high cost per click, but not as high as how to make pancakes, or what time is it in California? So many questions I wanted to ask now that you're gone, and your text bounced back to me undeliverable. Praise to the goddess of the internet search, who returns with her basket of grains. 67,000 helpful suggestions to everything we request. How to solve a Rubik's Cube, what to do when you're bored. How old is the earth? How to clear cache? What animal am I? Why do we dream? Where are you now? Come back.
Coroner's report. Estimated age 14, name unknown. Multiple lacerations to wrists, bruising at neck with cyanide in the stomach. Cause of death, desolation. I may not know what you go through, and I may not know what you see. But believe it or not, I used to cut myself. At first it was 1, and then 2, and 3. So here's a window into my mind where there is no essence or track of time. A cry goes out, begging for a response. But only those who have shared the cry know what was lost. No, Mom, don't worry, I promise I'm fine. It's still the emotionless, it's still the same bitter, it's still the same low line that we say every day, but yet we don't believe, because we're still begging for this feeling of misery to leave. To the students that hate themselves, I'm talking to you. I may not know what you've been through, but I'll say it out loud so you won't have to. We hate ourselves, and at points we feel lost. We've made bad choices, and we've been double-crossed. We're not alone in this fight against a deafening silence, so I ask you now to make an alliance, to make an agreement, to make a deal, to fight the darkness, to fight for what you feel. To the girls that hate themselves, that's for them. To the girls that hate themselves, listen to me now. It is time to take back, to reclaim your crown. You are not worthless, and you are not nothing. Stop faking to feel like you are something. You are powerful, and you are special. Do not let the world treat you like you belong in a kennel. Stand up and dust yourself off, for your fight is not yet done. I know things may seem dark, but the day is always young. To the boys that wear silence like a mask, that are trying to hide their past, we spend sleepless nights contemplating life or death. Relax, calm down, and take a breath. Stand up and be leaders for those who have lost their way. Find someone, guide them, and tell them it would all be okay. The guilt and pain that we can't contain turns to a blood-marked wrist to a blood-red stain. We can't always see the pain we cause until it's staring at us in the face. And suddenly, we're all looking for the exits for running as if it were a race. I once had a friend kill himself, and I hope you don't go down the same route he did. I wish I could stop you from feeling this way. The sensation of feeling defeated. So be mindful of your words, for they have the power to kill. Sure, you may laugh now, but what's going to happen when they're full of pills? What's next? Sorry. We now know that monsters don't lie under our bed. No, my dear classmates, they are the echoes in our head that make us regret we're ever alive, that make us wish we were dead. We listen to There's Nothing Left for Me. We listen to the lights. We listen to those symphonies. So I ask you now to take a stand and stand for a fight and fight for a friend. To find someone and guide them and tell them that this is not their end. For there is light at the end of that tunnel, but only if you make it. So I put my hand out, I'm begging you, please take it.
And I chose it, or what inspired me to write it was just personal experiences and like my environment around me. Three small words, two of which mean nothing without the other, I love you. A phrase that has been abused and misused for so long it has finally lost its meaning. I no longer say I love you, instead I say I breathe for you. They are like a painting. See, I can't draw straight lines, but that's okay, for their hair is curly. When I'm around them, my heart aches. However, my feelings are hidden. Buried deep in the ocean, I cannot let them reach the surface. I cannot say them out loud. I cannot say them out loud. I am drowning. My words are overflowing. Stop. I love him, a phrase that I've been forced to say, though it means nothing to me. I no longer want to be drowning. I need air. I go to breathe. I want to breathe. Please don't hate me. I breathe for her.
I remember when I was younger, I would get mad when my mom would tell me certain things. I remember thinking that she was tearing my life apart, when in reality, our lives were already torn and twisted into fragments of the family I thought was happy. You see, my mother is the type of woman to worry herself about the details, but never once told us about the selfish, dishonest, disloyal details, just let the kids be kids. But now I understand that she didn't want us to worry about things we had no control over. You see, my mother's tongue is the language of love. Uses it to call me mi niña, mi vida, mi alma. Oh, how beautiful is it to be loved in Spanish. The colorful and bright personality the Spanish language is became a tall, dry wall that blocked her from fully pursuing the so-called American dream. I used to get embarrassed when my mother's broken English spoke, scared that others would judge us. But now I understand that my mother's tongue is nothing to be ashamed of. Her tongue is a stubborn dancer that will always point her towards her cultura, comunidad, y su casa. It wasn't until last October when I ended up in the hospital due to a near-death experience that I realized I wanted to live on to understand that my mother's large love labors were not lost. You see, my mother gave my siblings and I each necklaces with saints on them to repel evil people from coming into our lives, and she said they were to be worn every day, and so I do because I believe her. And I believe her not because I believe evil people do lurk, but because I understand that I make mistakes and I want to be better. I want to be a better person and a better daughter. Most importantly, I understand that to be a daughter means to understand that my mom would not leave me in my darkest times.
So a little fun fact, this poem was actually introduced to me back when I was in the Philippines by a teacher, and I forgot about it until we had to find a poem to recite. And I chose this poem because this poem teaches its readers something about life, about how to live a satisfactory life, about how to live a balanced life. And I feel like everyone here should hear it. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubtings too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the words you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or once the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve long after you are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will, which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth, and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness offend you? Why are you beset with gloom? That I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.
The poem I chose is called Once the World Was Perfect by George Hydro. And I chose this not only because it talks about the end of the world, which is a unit that we're discussing right now, but also because I really agree with the way that she describes that we humans have been destroying our own world. Okay. Once the world was perfect, and we were happy on that world. Then we took it for granted. Discontent began a small rumble in the earthly mind. Then thou pushed through with its spike head. And when thou ruptured the web, all manner of demon thoughts jumped through. We destroyed the world we haven't cared for its creation, for life. No one, each tone of jealousy, each tone of fear, greed, envy, and hatred without the light. No one was without a stone in his or her hand. And there we were, right back where we had started. We were bumping into each other in the dark. And now we had no place to live, since we didn't know how to live with each other. Then one of the stumbling ones took pity on another and shared a blanket. A spark of kindness made a light. The light made an opening from the darkness. Everyone worked together to make a ladder. A wind clan person climbed out first into the next world, and then the other clans, and the children of those clans, and their children, all the way to time, to now, and to this morning light to you.
When my aunt died, my uncle raised his hands, like a prophet in the Bible. "I've lost my girl," he said. "I've lost my girl," over and over, shaking his head. I didn't know what to say, where to look. My quiet uncle raising his voice to silence. My aunt was 87. "Listen," my uncle said, sighing like a tree alone at night. "Women know everything. Women know every midnight on New Year's Eve when others sang and laughed and hugged. Your aunt looked at me, tears in her eyes. 60 years, she knew. One day, we'd kiss goodbye. Thank you."
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make an allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all in one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start at your beginnings, but never breathe a word about your loss. If you can trust your nerve, heart, and sinew to continue long after they are gone, So hold on when there is nothing in you except a will that said to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with the kings and nor lose a common touch. If you can feel the unforgiving moment, worth of 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and much more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you.
Well, I wrote my own poem called Procrastination. It's kind of ironic because I kind of wrote it yesterday. Oh, how I hate doing things late. I wait and I wait until it's too late. Procrastination is the worst trait a human can have. It splits you into two and now you have a half you wish you never had. The one half says, you should start Miss B's poem, Simon. And the other half says, nah, go play some Fortnite and do it tomorrow. You listen and tomorrow turns into days. Some days turns into weeks. And you catch yourself doing it the day before. And then when you finish it, you think what every procrastinator has thought. I'm not doing anything late ever again. You do it again and again until it becomes a habit you can't control. There you are watching your favorite show. As time passes by, it flies away like an eagle after catching its prey. Your whole life wasted. Your whole life wasted from copying and pasting in the middle of the night trying to get that one assignment that was assigned 2 months ago done. And your pencil's tired from writing as you're whining and crying, thinking, why did I do this late? It goes from just procrastinating this one time to procrastinating your whole life. Procrastinating becomes your whole life that at times you consider to be your wife. All that wait and delay, all that time gone to waste. When you finally stop procrastinating, when you finally stop, it's already too late. That's it.
Passes, and it's by Joy Ladin, and I chose it because it talks about how time passes slowly, but if you don't use your time wisely, like, it can go to waste, and you can't gain it back. So, time too is afraid of passing, is riddled with holes through which time feels itself leaking. Time sweats at night when all other dimensions are sleeping. Time has lost every picture of itself as a child. Now time is old, leathery and slow. Can't sneak up on anyone anymore. Can't hide in the grass. Can't run, can't catch. Can't figure out how not to trample what it means to bless.
If you are not to become a monster, you must care what they think. If you care what they think, how will you not hate them? And so become a monster of the opposite kind. For where then is love to come? Love from your enemy, that is the way of liberty. From forgiveness. Forgiven they go, free of you and you of them. They are to you as sunlight on a green branch. You must not think of them again. You should only think of them as monsters like yourself, pitiable because unforgiven. Thank you.
You who are happy in 1,000 homes, or overworked therein to a dumb peace, whose souls are wholly centered in the life of that small group you personally love. Who told you that you need not know or care about the sin and sorrow of the world? Do you believe the sorrow of the world does not concern you in your little homes? That you are licensed to avoid the care and toil for human progress, human peace, and the enlargement of our power of love until it covers every field of life. The one first duty of all human life is to promote the progress of the world in righteousness and wisdom, truth, and love, and you ignore it, hidden in your homes, content to keep them in uncertain peace, content to leave all else without your care. Yet you are mothers, and a mother's care is the first step toward friendly human life. Life where nations in untroubled peace unite to raise the standard of the world and make the happiness we seek in homes spread everywhere in strong and fruitful love. You are content to keep that mighty love in its first steps forever, the crude care of animals for mate and young and homes, instead of pouring it abroad in life, its mighty current feeding all the world, till every human child can grow in peace. You cannot keep your small domestic peace, your little pool of undeveloped love, while the neglected, starved, unmothered world fights and struggles for lack of mother's care, and its tempestuous, bitter, broken life beats in upon you in your selfish homes. We can all have our homes in joy and peace when woman's life and its rich power of love is joined with man's to care for all the world. Thank you.
To live in the Zombie Apocalypse by Burley Vane. I chose this poem because I felt like it correlated with our last unit, The World's End, and I felt like it created a picture of how the world would be as if it ended. Okay, so it has this serious tone, so let me. Okay. The moon will shine for God knows how long, as if it still matters, as if someone is trying to recall a dream. Believe the brain is a cage full of light and rage. When it shuts off, something else switches on. There's no better reason than now to lock the doors, the windows, turn off the sprinklers, the porch light, save the books for fire. In darkness, we learn to read. What moves along the horizon, across the periphery of a gun scope, the flicker of shadows, the rustling of trash in the body of cities long emptied. Not a soul is in this house, in this house, in this house. So go on, stiffen the heart, quicken the blood. To live in a world of flesh and teeth, you must learn to kill what you love and love what can die. Thank you.
Thank you.